Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lecture. In the last lecture, we completed the chapter polynomials, where we studied some identities and where we learned the remainder theorem, factor theorem, and finally use of 10 formulas to factorize and expand the given questions. Today, we'll start and end chapter number 3, which is coordinate geometry. We have a good amount of idea about this chapter already in the last class. Still, let's see one more time. I've told you there, if you want to study motion of a line following robot, you will need only one straight line to understand that motion. But if you want to study motion of ant or a human being who is walking on a road, it is of no surety that you can say they will walk only in a straight line. In that case, using one axis won't solve the purpose because you won't be able to trace that person correctly. So for such motions, we introduced Cartesian system in which we use xy plane. We call it a plane, a Cartesian plane or a xy plane. What we do here is we use two number lines. In this we use two number lines. One number line is the x dash, which is horizontal, and second is y dash, which is vertical. I have drawn a rough diagram, but you should use a scale and pencil for this. If you have graph paper, very good, it's okay. If you don't have, you can use simple scale and pencil and try to draw these spacings of equal intervals. You can take 1 centimeter as I've shown over here, that the scale is 1 unit equal to 1 centimeter. That will be the best scale you can take in normal cases. Now, let's understand more about this. So you can see this is the first number line, which is horizontal, having arrow on both the sides. Similarly, on y-axis we have arrows on both the sides. They both intersect each other perpendicularly. You can see this angle is 90 degree. Second thing, they intersect each other at 0 point. So we get a 0 comma 0 at this point. So we have 0 of x-axis as well as y-axis coinciding at this point. I hope you got this. Okay. Now we will discuss more about this in the coming slides. Let's see. You can see one more thing you can observe over here. This XY plane is dividing this complete paper in how many parts? 4 parts. This is the first part, second part, third part and fourth part. In next classes, when you study about 3D plane, in 3D geometry, where we can study motion of aeroplane, motion of fly and other things, at that point one more axis will be introduced, that is z axis, which will go perpendicular to both these axes. In that case we will have how many, what you say, divisions in the space? You can say there will be 8 divisions. So in this case we have a quadrant, first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth. In that case, when we will study, there we will have 8 octants. Okay, just an idea, not in your course right now. Let's see. Okay, so as I've told you, x dash is the horizontal number line and y dash is the vertical number line. They both coincide at 0, which is known as origin, and the coordinate of origin is 0 comma 0. Okay, second we call that Cartesian plane. This arrow is for that diagram only, which was on the last slide. And this we also call it coordinate plane or xy plane. Nothing much. Okay, what do you mean by axis? This is AXES. Axis means single axis. Axis means more than one axis. So in this case we call it axis. So axes are known as coordinate axis because it contains both x and y axis. Okay. Now, very important and interesting, every point on this xy plane has a address. So I have told you, if you want to trace path of a person or a ant moving on a plane, you need to find two particular things. You need to find two particular things to locate that particular ant correctly. And those 2 points are that ant's x coordinate and y coordinate. So if we can find these two things of a person moving on a plane, we can trace that person very easily. Let's see how. So as per its position denoted as x comma y. So we denote position of anything on this, what you say, coordinate plane or xy plane as x comma y. It is very important, and what you say, it is a type of normal thing for everyone to take x in the first position and y in the second position. It is being followed by, what you say, everyone around this globe. So we will also follow this, that x will come as first coordinate and y will come as second coordinate. So we call it a ordered pair. Now let's understand what is x comma y. This x means x coordinate of that point. This x or whatever number here comes, that will be known as x coordinate or abscissa. This first number in the ordered pair will be known as x coordinate or abscissa. Similarly, this second number in this ordered pair will be known as y coordinate or ordinate. Okay, so abscissa and ordinate, don't confuse, they are just a different name for x coordinate and y coordinate respectively. Okay, let's see a simple definition of x coordinate and y coordinate. This will be explained in the next diagram. What is x coordinate? It is the perpendicular distance of a point from y axis, and y coordinate is perpendicular distance of a point from x axis. This will be clear in the next slide. Okay. This again the same example. Here I have shown some more details about this. Let's see one by one. I have told you there only that this xy plane divides this plane in four parts. This first part is first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth. Now let's see how we do the, what you say, marking on this. I have taken scale as 1 unit equal to 1 centimeter. So you can see on the right of 0 we have all positive values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, it will go on. On the left of 0 we have all negative values, -1, -2, -3. So you can see on this side numbers are decreasing, on this side numbers are increasing. So you can see when you move this side numbers are increasing, and when you move this side numbers are decreasing. Okay, second thing is this one, this axis, which is y axis. In this case, when you go above 0 you get positive values or the values are increasing, but when you go downwards values are decreasing. You can see here we have -1, -2, -3 and so on, decreasing till negative infinity. Okay, now one more thing to observe over here is the sign of coordinates. I told you location of any point is done using two things, x comma y, which is x coordinate and y coordinate. Now comes the nature of these. In this first quadrant, wherever the person moves, wherever it wants in this quadrant, its sign of x and y will always remain positive. Why? What is the reason behind that? Very simple. Let's see. This number 1 is positive, this 2 is positive, 3 is positive. Similarly, these are positive. So whatever moving over here will contain both the values positive. Okay. So whenever someone tells you that there is a location 2, 3, you can just predict that that particular thing is in which quadrant? First quadrant, because both the numbers are positive. Okay, let's see now. Okay, second quadrant. In this one you can see x axis is having negative values and y is having positive values. That is why this coordinate is having first value negative and second value positive. Why first is negative? I have told you, this is a general, what you say, notation we use. first number is always used for this horizontal one, and the second y is used for the vertical one. That is why x is coming negative in all this second quadrant and y is coming positive in all this second quadrant. So if someone says that person is located at -2 comma 3, you can just predict that that person can be located in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Yes. Okay. We will learn more about this, how to locate, but this time the main discussion is on the nature of what you say points. Okay. Now the third quadrant, you can observe here x, the first part of ordered pair is negative and y is always negative. That is why this case the nature became negative for both the coordinates. Okay. In the last, we can see the same thing. Here x is positive always, but y is negative always. That is why we have this combination that x is positive and y is negative. So if someone says that a particular thing is located at -5 comma -5, at -5 comma -5, what you will do? Where will you search for that object? Will you search for in the first, second, third, or fourth? Yes, you will search in third quadrant because you know now about the nature of this place. Okay. Now, here you can see a question. In this, we have to find these values. Let's understand. First, let's see this value b. What do you think? What is its coordinate? I have told you that you have to find two coordinates, x comma y. First, always think about x coordinate. So you can see on x axis, what is the value? If you draw a line like this, it is 4. So this is 4. Now what is the value on y-axis? It is 3. So it is 4 comma 3. One more way is there to explain this thing. We explain x coordinate as distance of the point from y-axis. Again I am repeating. We explain, or we, what do you say, define x coordinate as distance of point B from y-axis. So you can say, if I make a line like this one, this line is the distance of point B from y-axis. And how much is this distance? It is same as this distance, which we know already. How much? It is 4. As this is 4, therefore this is also 4. Hence x coordinate came as 4. Now what about y coordinate? What about y coordinate? We know it is how much? Y coordinate is 3. Now how I define y coordinate? In similar way, we say y coordinate is the distance of point B from x axis. Very good. Okay, so y coordinate distance from x axis, x coordinate distance from y axis. Very easy, just reversing the terms, nothing else. So you can see here, this distance we have to understand how much it is this. So when you compare it here, you get these two things are equal. So these two are equal, hence we got this value 3. I hope you got this now. Similarly, in this case, let's find the coordinate of point M. You can try on your own by pausing it and then check with my explanation. So again, the x coordinate is given by distance of point M from x-axis. How much is the distance? Sorry, I'm wrong. X coordinate of point M is distance from y-axis. So how much it is? It is this much, which is equal to this thing, that is -3. Okay, now comes the y coordinate. What is y coordinate? Y coordinate is the distance from x axis. So from x axis you can say this is the distance, and this is equal to this line. How much? Till plus 4. So this is plus 4. So we have got the coordinate of m as -3 comma 4. Similarly, in this case you can pause the video and try on your own. The answer is yes, it is -5 comma -3. 4. In the last case, it is 3 comma minus 4. Okay, understood? In this, again, you have to find the location, or to say the coordinates of these points. Everything is similar to the last one. Just one new case, this L. I want you all to pause this video and try to find the coordinates of point L on your own. Okay. Now let's see. I've told you there is a simple definition of finding coordinates. We have to find two coordinates, x and y. So for x coordinate, I've told you the definition is very simple. Definition is saying x coordinate of a point is the distance of that point from y axis. If you observe, this point is standing on which axis right now? It is standing on y axis only. So distance from y axis is how much? 0. So whenever what you say, drive on a highway and you are reaching towards Delhi, you keep on seeing that milestone, that Delhi 20 kilometers, Delhi 10 kilometers, then finally Delhi 0 kilometer. What does that mean? It means that you have reached the Delhi periphery. In a simple way, we can say this L is on the periphery of y only. So how much far it is from y? 0. So it is 0 units far. So that is why the x coordinate is how much? 0. Similarly, we have to find the y coordinate, and that is distance of this point from x axis. You can see this is x axis, horizontal one. From this you can find a perpendicular distance. It is how much? 5. That is why it is 5. Now this is a, what you say, basic way of finding. And now whatever you see is, whenever there is a point on y axis, it will always be 0. You can generalize this thing now, that coordinate of a point on y axis will always have 0 as x coordinate, and this one can be found very easily. Now this time, if I want you to guess about this point M, which is lying on x axis, what do you think? What is 0 in this case? What do you think? What is 0 in this case? X coordinate or y coordinate? Please guess. Okay, now see. Again, going to the definition, going to our basics. The basics say x coordinate is given by distance of the point from y axis. So let's see the distance from y axis. This is a vertical line, the y axis. The distance from here is how much? This much. And that is minus 3. Now, what is y coordinate? Y coordinate is the distance from x axis. And now if you observe, this point M is standing happily at which point? On which axis it is standing? It is standing on x axis. So, how much far it is from x axis? Simple, 0. So that is why this point becomes 0. So whenever someone says that if y coordinate of a point is 0, you can say that point is surely standing on which axis? X axis. If someone says a point is there whose x coordinate is 0, you are sure that that point is lying somewhere on y axis. Okay, great. Okay, plot the distance x comma y given in the following table on the plane, choosing suitable units of distance on the axis. Okay, in this time you can choose suitable units whatever you want. If you take with 1 centimeter, little bit difficulty you will face in this case. If you take scale of 1 centimeter, you will face little bit difficulty. So I recommend you to go with 0.5, but in this case of 0.5 you will have to make a larger graph, because 8 for 8 point you will need 16 divisions. For 0.7 you will need how many divisions? 14 divisions. So that is the thing. So suppose I'm having a small graph, so I'm taking only this value. I'm going to locate for you. Suppose I take a scale of 1 unit is equal to 0.5 centimeter. What will happen? So this will be your 0, this will be your 0.5, this will be your 1, this will be your 2. Sorry, not 2. Wait, one second. One second. Control Z is not working. Okay. So this will be your 1.5. this will be your 2 and this will be your 2.5. In similar way, you can have these negative ones, minus 0.5, minus 1.5. I'm not able to write correctly, but you understanding my words, so you can correct it on your own. This is minus 2, then minus 2.5, and so on. We want a point which whose coordinate x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is minus 1.25. So you can write it like this. The coordinate of this, you can name them like this. Suppose this is coordinate A, B, point C, point D, and point E. So what we are going to do is we are going to locate point number C, and point C ordered pair, what you say, x comma y are 0 comma minus 1.25. So let's see how to locate it. And this point will be how much? Tell me. This will be minus zero point 0.5. This will be minus 1, minus 1.5. This will be minus 2, and so on. Okay, now let's see the point. This is saying 0 comma minus 1.25. As x coordinate is 0, what it means? As x coordinate is 0, it means the point is lying on which axis? Very simple, it is lying on y axis. So on y axis our point lies at which place? Minus 1.25. Let's locate it. Minus zero point 0.5 minus 1 minus 1.25 will lie somewhere between these two, and you know it is mid of these two, so somewhere here we will get the answer. So I will, what you say, circle like this and say it is point C. Suppose I take this point also, 1 comma 3. How will I locate it? 1 on x-axis, that is this point, and 3 on y-axis, so 1 2 3. So let's enlarge them like this, make a line. Where are they meeting? These two lines are meeting at this point. So we call this point as 1 comma 3. Okay. This is not 2. This is 1 only. Don't be confused with this mouse work. I don't have a stylus with me. Okay. So I hope everything is clear with you. This chapter is very much simple. You can try going through that NCRT thing, and you will get everything very easily. Okay. Tomorrow I will be giving you some questions, and this chapter will be over. Thank you. Have a nice day.